Hello, I'm so excited to see all of you popping in the room. Happy Saturday. We're going to go a little slow on this as folks are getting audio and video connected, and see what we can do to say some hellos because it is today day 1,399 days of consecutive singing here in the Daily Antidote of Song. Yeah, Alan, I'm going to say the same thing. Whew. So we've been at this for a while. We've gotten really darn good at it, haven't we, gang? So I'm so grateful to everybody for coming today and for being here to share in another special day. Welcome to everybody who's coming in from the live stream, folks on YouTube, folks on Facebook. We're glad you're here today. And welcome to everybody in the room. If you're new to the Daily Antidote, we are one song every day, a sing-along song every day here virtually. And it's free, open to everybody. And we welcome your presence anytime you feel like joining us. So I am going to say hello to all the folks in the room before we get to today's new to us song leader. And we've got a kind of a fun day planned. So let's say hi to the folks in the room. So first of all, hello to Alan MacEwan of the Grandsons, our song leader for the day, coming in from Arlington, Virginia, and we will get back to him in just a second. Hello to Aloysius coming in from Massachusetts, Deli in Maryland, Becky in Vancouver, Dan in Vienna, Virginia, Kathy in Colorado, Susan in Ohio, Sheila in Florida, Elizabeth in California, Cricket in Maryland, Lola, nice to see you again, coming in from, I think it was Canada, but now I can't remember. Nancy in Washington State, Carolyn in Idaho, Linda on Orcas Island, Sandy in Western North Carolina, Hoda in British Columbia, Sarah in Texas, Annette in California, Kat in Vermont, Kate in Charlottesville. Thanks to Aaron for running the tech today from Brooklyn. Athena also coming in from Brooklyn. Hi to the Curly Tops coming in from Vermont. Caroline in DC. And let's see who else we have. I'm switching screens. Oh, I lost my place. Caroline, Elizabeth, Isabel in Florida. Nice to see you. Susan in Seattle. Luda in Victoria. Kathleen in Albuquerque. Benet in California. Hello to Renata in Wisconsin. Nice to see you today. Glad you're back. Hi to Storm in Massachusetts. Hindi in Toronto. Lynn in Connecticut. Hello to Laris coming in from the UK. Glad you've joined us today. Hi to Susan in Tacoma Park. Busy Graham of Carpe Diem Arts. That's the organization that keeps this going day after day after day. Thanks so much, Busy, for all your hard work. Jim Harkless coming in from Maryland. Hi, Mommy, coming in from New Hampshire. And hello to Bob coming in from Massachusetts. A few folks still joining. So hello, and if I missed you, we will get you on the goodbye end. Everybody, let's take a deep breath. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to borrow that breath, Alan. Thank you. So today, for everyone who doesn't know, is the 65th anniversary of the day the music died. And so we are actually going to have a sort of a little bit of a different Daily Antidote than normal, because I would say it's not your general everyday Daily Antidote day when we sing two different pop type songs. And that is our journey for the day. So please get prepared for some nostalgia and some fun. And I'm going to turn it over to Alan MacEwan. He is in the Grandsons of the Pioneers. A small side tidbit is that I booked Alan and his band 30 years ago for the Town of Herndon concert series. And that's the first time we met. And I'm so glad, Alan, to finally be having you joining us here. Welcome.
All right. Thank you for welcoming me. We've streamlined since 1993, and now we're simply the Grandsons. So it's been.
Did I say it wrong?
You did, because we were just talking about that history, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. Now, who knows? Maybe there'll be people that will be able to make that connection from our pre-millennial incarnation to our post-millennial incarnation.
Beautiful.
Well, today we're going to sing American Pie by Don McLean, and because of, we're commemorating the day the music died, that's a good song to go to. And so this song almost needs no introduction, but we're going to do just a little bit of the chorus. So I can, in case you don't know, I'll just run through the major harmony that people usually sing. Of course, the chorus is, so bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. And you can sing the harmony. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye. So there's an example of the harmony that's probably on the record. If it's not on the record, it's definitely around the campfire. So that's where we are with this. So what do you think, Joe? Should we kick it off? All right. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had a chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Well, did you write the book of love? And do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. And do you believe in rock and roll? And can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronkin' buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. I started singing bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. Oh, this'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own. A moss grows fat on a rolling stone. But that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang to the king and queen in a coat they borrowed from James Dean, the voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned, no verdict was returned, and while Lennon read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. And we're singing bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter-skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off with a fallout shelter, 8 miles high and falling fast. And it landed foul on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass with the jester on the sidelines and a cast. The day. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume while the sergeants played a marching tune. Well, we all got up to dance, but we never got the chance, 'cause the players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed the day the music died? We started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. And there we all were in one place, a generation lost in space. No time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, 'cause fire is the devil's only friend. And as I watched him on the stage, my hands were clenched in fists of rage. No angel born in hell I could break that Satan spell. And as the flames climbed high into the night, the light that sacrificial rite, I saw Satan laughing with delight the day the music died. And we were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Well, I met a girl who sang the blues. I asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away. And I went down to the sacred store. Well, I'd heard the music years before, but the man said that the music wouldn't play. And in the streets the children screamed, and the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. The church bells all were broken, and the three men I admire the most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. And they were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. They're singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Ha ha.
Thank you so much. That was really fun, Alan. And thanks for bringing a lot of levity. It's funny. It's an upbeat, singing it, nostalgia type of a song. But of course, what we're talking about is a day that people died. So just a moment here to pause and think about how much that must have impacted people on the day that that happened, to, lose figures who carried so much, life and hope and joy in their very presence. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit sort of your relationship to the folks who died in the day the music died.
Oh, well, let's see. I guess one thing that always strikes me about um, most of those people, like that, just is how much they'd accomplished at such a young age. Buddy Holly was 23, and he'd been maybe name in the music business since 19, so that's like a and I'm sure he was playing before that around Lubbock, Texas, where he was from. Um, and it's just stunning, like all the songs he wrote and recorded, and just the way he changed music and put like a defining stamp on rock and roll in just a 4 year career, and by the age of 23. I don't know, it's I've been playing music a lot longer than that, and I still feel like um, I'm moving a lot slower. I'm still learning a lot, which is great. But it's I just think of that's just amazing to just put your stamp on the world and become unforgettable by the age of 23. And the same thing for Richie Valens. Just he was younger than that. I don't know if he may not have even been 20 when he died in that plane crash, because he had his hit with La Bamba at age of 17, I think. So I don't even know. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he was still a teenager when the plane went down. And J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, he was a big radio promoter, and he had a couple novelty hits out, and he was probably the engine of that tour. So um, I don't know. There's even despite what happened to um, Buddy Holly. Most musicians in the rock and roll field take this as sort of a warning. Don't get on a small plane to take it to try to get to the next gig in time. So
That's
I have done, I put that aside one time. I did it. I was playing at a wedding reception on Block Island, Rhode Island, in the right around 2001. It was in October, and get this, seas were too rough for the ferry to run, but you could still fly off. So it was really windy, but for some reason, like I thought, oh, I've got this gig in a couple, in about 2 more days. I've got to be down in. Well, first of all, I was flying with my young son and my wife to celebrate his first birthday party with the relatives, and then down to this gig in Lower Manhattan. Um, and but somehow I put that Buddy Holly warning aside and got on that plane and somehow made it. So I tempted fate myself.
That's amazing. All right, so I will say, like, I read a little bit about the day the music died, and if you go just to Wikipedia and read about it, there are some aspects of it that are actually really sort of, as you can look at it back, afar, where there was actually a coin toss for two people who were vying for one of the seats on the plane, and so the person who lost the coin toss didn't actually lose in some ways. There was a reason why they weren't all going on their tour bus. Some of them were sick. They were kind of all dragging, and so some people ended up on this flight, and other people did not. And so it's fascinating, the things that happen in the world and how it can change the world. Had it been other musicians on that plane, how the story might be told differently. So, well, thanks, Alan, so much. Oh, did you want to say something?
Waylon Jennings was on the in the crickets for that tour, and he was one that lost the coin toss to get on the plane. And I think he might have given up his seat for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, I definitely recommend. Aaron will probably pop the link in the chat for going ahead and reading up about it. If you don't actually have a relation to it, or didn't actually read about it on the day that it happened, etc. Or weren't, don't have your own memories of it. So Alan, thanks so much for bringing that. I know that you have been for a very long time one of the founding members of the Grandsons, and I think a project that you guys are actually working on right now is directly related to what we're talking about today. Can you share?
I would love to share. The great promoter and performer of music around here, Louis Newmeyer, has, along with some other friends, organized uh, an annual Buddy Holly tribute for several years. I know it took a year or two off during the pandemic, but it's back, I think, for the second year in a row, or maybe this could be the first one since the pandemic. But I'll say it's the second one since the pandemic. But this is going to be Sunday, the 25th of February, and it's going to be at this place called Rosenstiel Hall, which is in Wheaton, Maryland. And I think I have a link to this thing in the comments where you can get tickets. It's a link to the Facebook page announcement about it. But this is, I think, going to be our third time participating in it, although I think they've done it 8 or 9 times, if not more. But a lot of bands, all from the DMV area, as we say around here. If you're, international viewer, that means a District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, which is kind of our tri-state area, if you will. So a lot of bands from that immediate, the nation's capital area, are going to be performing in this thing. So we do 6 songs, and then we'll yield to the next group. But it's so fun because there's a lot of camaraderie with all the musicians who don't always see each other because we're always playing separate venues. But so as a musician, it's fun to do, and as a audience member, it's great to be involved in something like this because you get the you'll feel that fun spirit, and just everybody will be playing songs by Buddy Holly or associated with Buddy Holly, and also Richie Valens. We're going to do La Bamba. The grandsons are going to do that, and tickets are on sale now. I hope you can consider coming.
Thank you so much. So, okay, DMV folks, now you know where you can get some more Buddy Holly singing in. And Alan, I want to thank you again for joining us today, new to the room today, and hope that it won't be your last time here. Wondering if you might have a second song that you want to sing also in keeping with the theme.
I do, and just one thing I'm going to get in, a plug for the grandsons themselves, is that you should visit our website, grandsons.com, very simple, to check out our schedule and see where we're playing next. The next thing that we're doing is with just the band doing our original songs is at Hank Diedel's Tavern, and that will be the first Thursday of March, which is the 7th of March. So I hope you'll put that on your calendar to come to Rockville, Maryland to see us at Hank Diedel's Tavern, something we do every month there. And that's just a great music venue that just has all types of music, and it has a warm, friendly, inviting vibe, like anybody would feel comfortable there. And for people joining us from Vancouver or all around the world, we'll try to get to you soon. We have traveled. We've been to Germany, France, the Virgin Islands, Taiwan, and Canada before, and we've been to let's see, I'm forgetting someplace, but regardless, El Salvador. The State Department brought us to El Salvador one time. We hope that we'll make it to where you live sometime. And the song that I want to do is I want to just keep the Buddy Holly thing going, because I brought my Buddy Holly glasses for this, so I could be in the spirit. But think about him, he was very young, and his songs were just exuberant love songs, most of them just kind of excited to be alive type of really vital stuff. So that's what this next song I think of is called "Oh Boy." It's called "Oh Boy," and the main part of it is like the verse that comes around again is I'll just sing the first verse so you can kind of get an idea of the melody. All my love, all my kissin', you don't know what you've been a-missin', oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. So that's the main part, and there's a bridge, but there's really not much to this. Not like American Pie, it's going to be over before we know it. So let's give it a try. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All my love, all my kissin', you don't know what you've been a-missin', oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. All my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Stars appear, shadows are falling, you can hear my heart a-calling. A little bit of love makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All my love, all my kissin'. You don't know what you've been a missin', oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. My life I've been waiting. Tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Stars appear, shadows are falling. You can hear my heart a calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All my love, all my kissin'. You don't know what you've been a missin', oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Dum 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 dum, oh boy. Dum 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 dum, oh boy. Dum 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 dum, oh boy. Dum 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 dum, oh boy.
Woo!
All right, Buddy Holly fans, this was the day to tune in, clearly.
Oh boy, thank you so much. Oh joy. It was really fun today, actually, to just like sing and be goofy and be happy. And I want to thank you so much for helping us to do that today. Perfect Saturday, actually, just to take a deep breath and celebrate, I don't know, celebrate music in a way that's different than the way we do it sometimes. So thank you so much, Alan MacEwan from the Grandsons. Can we all please give it up for Alan?
So thank you for having me here today. This was a delight, and I got to say congratulations on like over 1,400 consecutive days of video podcasting. That is truly an accomplishment.
It's
What a fun day.
definitely, it is a crazy thing, gang. So actually today is day 1,399, which means tomorrow is actually day 1,400. So can we all bring our like 1,400 day cards tomorrow and hold them up so we have a little celebration? It's a landmark day just because it has like neat numbers. So we're going to call it a landmark day. And I want to thank everybody in this room for being part of what has helped us to get this far, by all of the ways that you contribute, your smiles, your energy, your singing along song, your donations, and everything that makes this actually work. So I want to thank you all so much. Once again, another big thank you to Alan for jumping in with us today. Alan MacEwan, the Grandsons, and I can't wait to have you back, Alan. Thank you.
Okay, I hope to see all of you soon. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to Alan and goodbye to all the folks on the live stream. And please help me wave Alan out. We appreciate you being here, Alan. You're welcome to stay, but you can head off if you need to go rehearse for your Buddy Holly thing. And we'll say goodbye to everybody on the live stream. Thanks for being here, folks on YouTube and on Facebook. We appreciate your presence. And to all the folks in the room, help me wave everybody out, gang. Let's say goodbye to Leanna and Willard, and maybe that's Alice May over there in Vermont. Nice to see you guys. Susan in Ohio, thank you so much for being here. Sheila in North Florida, Kathy in Colorado, Sarah in Texas, Jane in Texas, Sue in Seattle, Kat in Vermont, Benet in Berkeley, California, Lynn and Cliff coming in from Vermont. Great to see both of you. David and Elsie coming in from Oakland and the dinosaur or whatever that is. Martha coming in from Oregon. Jim in Maryland. Lovely to see you today. Luda and Mark in Victoria, or at least the Luda half and maybe Mark in the background. Cricket, who's actually coming with her very own Buddy Holly. Wait, we're going to just make a quick spotlight. There you go. Thank you, Cricket, for bringing Buddy Holly today to our room. And thank you so much to Mabel and a bear in Massachusetts. Thank you to Luda. No, that's Lola coming in from Canada. Thank you, Lola. And Carolyn in Boise, and Linda on Orcas Island, and Julie in Ontario, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Bob in Albany, Dally in Maryland, Annette in California. Who do we have on page 2 here? Renata coming in from Wisconsin. Glad to see you today. Susan in Tacoma Park, Hoda in British Columbia. And there's Dan Walker. Wait, we need another spotlight because Dan is also bringing us. Thank you so much. Dan's also bringing Buddy Holly. Love it, Dan. Really appreciate that. I love how you guys play along with us. It's so great. Ann in Silver Spring, Maryland. Trish in Victoria. Bob in Massachusetts out in the sun with another bear. And let me see where we got Storm in Massachusetts, Becky in Vancouver, thanks for being here today. Aloysius in Massachusetts, Hindi in Toronto, Nancy in Washington State. Aaron, thank you again for running great tech today from Brooklyn. Caroline in DC, Athena also coming in from Brooklyn. Laris in the UK, really nice to see you today. Thanks for being here. Mommy coming in from New Hampshire, the next room over. Kim, thank you so much for being here. One of our song leaders, I think Vancouver, but definitely British Columbia. Lynn coming in from Connecticut. Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland. Ruth and Clive have popped in from Birmingham, UK. Glad to see you guys here today too. Let's all wave goodbye to the live stream. Ciao, guys. See you.